our second home. We come to conquer, no, we never walk alone. We dominate, the cream of the crop, drawing all our strength from the roar of the cock. It's all for one, and one for all. Pass a move, we're talking total football. Here we go again, Roy's red machine. Liverpool, the greatest team the world has ever seen. Pass a move, it's the Liverpool groove. Pass a move, it's the Liverpool groove. Pass a move, 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 it's the Liverpool groove.
Hello and welcome back to the Liverpool Groove. Sunday was very nice. I haven't been able to say that for a while. I don't really. It's been horrible, hasn't it? But yeah, I don't know. Sunday was just different. It felt like the pressure kind of just lifted on everyone, and you were allowed to play with a bit of freedom and just, I don't know. Yeah, just a bit of freedom. It was nice. Everyone looked great. It was the way we should have been ending Klopp's reign at the club. You know what I mean? It's just a shame the weeks before they'd have kind of scuppered everything else. But yeah, I thought they were brilliant for the most part, at least anyway, on Sunday.
Yeah, it felt like Liverpool again. It was just boss. The sun was shining, having a few beers. The Reds come out full throttle, pressing, working hard from the off, and it just felt like Liverpool. It felt like Anfield. There was a feeling in the air that it was going to be one of them games where we turned up and we put it to them, and we did. They were brilliant. Every single one of the players was up for it. I thought we defended brilliantly. Midfield was in control of the game. We let them have the ball in areas where they weren't dangerous, and when they got anywhere near us, we took it off them and we attacked them. And that's what we should have been doing a few weeks longer, but it's not to be. It hasn't happened. I think when Klopp mentioned us, the turnaround of we're the quickest turnaround in games in world football. They're playing 4 games when everyone else is playing 3. I think, you can see it's had that effect on the players. They've been physically, mentally shattered. I think some of them weren't ready to be this far advanced in progression, and it's took them a bit by surprise, and they haven't been mentally prepared for it. I think we just imploded, but they showed what they're capable of. They showed what they're capable of going forward and in the future, and how Liverpool can play. And that was the key thing for me, is to show that they're not shite, they're not shit houses, and that they can go again, and they've proven that.
Yeah. We talked about a few episodes earlier, didn't we, about the players they've got and how they could have caused us problems, and we didn't let them. We were hungry for everything, which was nice to see again. It's the most desire we've shown in quite a while. It was just nice again all around to see, Van Dijk looking unflustered as he does normally. It just looked perfect again for the most part. Quansah, I thought, was fantastic. Didn't let anything bother him. Again, getting Trent involved, getting Robbo involved. I thought Robertson was brilliant. I think he's been one of them who's probably been able to come out of the last few weeks with his head held up a little bit. I think obviously there's one thing you're always going to get with Robertson. It's desire and effort. So I think he's one who's kind of still been in good standing from the last few games. But again, I think Sunday he was fantastic and deserved his goal. Harvey Elliott. Like, what more has he got to do? I know obviously we don't care about international football and England in general, but what more has he got to do to be on that plane? It's ridiculous. You've got that Kobbie Mainoo, England capped already. It's like he's played 20 games. You've got now talk of this Adam Wharton from Palace, who, don't get me wrong, looks an absolutely brilliant player, but he's probably played 10 Premier League games. What more does Harvey Elliott got to do?
I'm fucking made up. You've seen him at the under 21s. He stands out levels ahead of the rest of them. He looks like he's just there to take the piss at times. He just looks incredible. And I think a few have said that he's not the term out of his depth, but he's ahead of his fucking depth if you want. He's just too good to be performing at them levels. And the longer it goes on, I hope he gets a little bit of bitterness towards England, and if they ask him to go, he says fuck off, because he should be there. But he's been asked the question before, and he's always made it clear that his focus is Liverpool and club football, and that's what I want to be from a young lad. I want him committed to the club, You know, we know he's a Liverpool fan from a young age, and he's living his dream now, and he deserves the credit that he's performing to, because he's been brilliant. He's probably, I think, he's got to be in the question for player of the season for us, because he's played inconsistently in different positions. He's been dragged from left to right to centre. He's been centre mid. He's been right forward. Not necessarily in amongst the better players at times as well. When we've made massive change to the team, he's been in there when it hasn't quite worked, and you see him getting tagged off at half time, and that when others aren't performing. So I think he deserves all the credit in the world at the minute. I think he's only like 20, 21, is he? And he's just grown from strength to strength in every position we play him. He just causes danger, wants to get on the ball, wants to make things happen, but he's not the type of player to like jump out of a tackle. He'll get stuck in, he'll try and win possession back for the team, and he's a proper team player. And I think the last few weeks we've lacked that, but you can still see him giving us all. But on Sunday, you had everyone matching that intensity from him, and I think it worked down to it. Say, like, it's the same like Jordan Henderson years ago. Henderson would be running around rings, maybe not technically the best player, but you see where his heart was, and that led on to other players. And I think Elliott's doing the same now. I think he's getting the best out of other players because he's trying his ass off, even in games. You know what I mean? So, yeah, credit to him, lad. The goal was unbelievable. We were discussing in a minute, but in terms of the season, his season's been brilliant. Can't knock him.
Yeah, no, he has. He's been a constant sort of positive. I don't think we've really spoke about him having a bad game. I think there's been the odd game where you've said, he hasn't really affected it as much as normal. But I don't think you've ever come out of a game going, he played shit there, like, or he had a really bad game and anything like that. He's probably the one player in the squad this season you can say that about. And yeah, I just think it's, again, not that I care. I'd rather him never play for England if it was up to me. But obviously for him, from a professional standpoint, that's sort of one of the goals you'd have as a professional player. And I think he deserves it time and time again. You know what I mean? But we all know what Gareth Southgate's like, so that probably won't happen anytime soon for whatever reason. But yeah, I mean, the goal was just phenomenal. I think what was pleasing about the game overall for me, though, was obviously, Gakpo's had a hard time recently. Goal and assist for him. Salah's had a hard time, goal and assist, and then goal and assist for Elliott as well. It's like everything just clicked, and it was just a well managed game until we went 4-0 up, and then I think we kind of took our, we kind of just went a bit, took our eye off the prize a little bit. You know what I mean? We got a bit lazy, a bit too comfortable in the game, and let them back into it a little bit, and that was a bit frustrating. But I think once they got the second one, we kind of went, shit, what are we doing here? Let's tighten it up a bit and make sure we get the 3 points, and obviously we did. So yeah, I mean, the clean sheet would have been a massive boost for the defense as well, which is disappointing. But again, the way we've been playing recently, you take the 3 points every day of the week, and 4 goals as well is just icing on the cake.
To be honest, lad, I think that their attacks started looking more threatening when we started making the substitutions. He made 2 and then he made another 2. So you're changing 4 out of a team of 11. There's your rhythm gone completely. He knows that. I think he said it after it, that he cocked up with the substitutions. Should have just let them play on the way they were playing. But yeah, do you know what? They've got players there who are dangerous. As much as I fucking can't stand Richarlison, he caused us danger when he come on. He got into areas of space some of the other players weren't getting, and he made it difficult. I thought Quansah handled him brilliantly at times. Positionally, he was spot on. Van Dijk looks better alongside Quansah. He looks more secure. He looks like I don't know what, I've had a fucking up to here with Van Dijk in the terms of how he defends with the aura and, laxy daisy, like standing out and all that stuff. But I don't know whether it's just a case of like, he's fucking, you've got your right side defender, you don't know who that's going to be. They've got to be watching out for how they're going to play. Then you've got Trent going up and not getting back, and you just It must be hard, I get it, but with Quansah, he just looks a lot more settled, I think. He just looks quite happy to play his own game and not worry about anything else, and that's where you get the best of Van Dijk. Yeah, I think we were just boss on the day, and the only downfall was conceding the 2 goals, but I was quite happy because I had 4-2 on a bet, so I was made up.
Gosh, you did.
I had Son to score, Gakpo to score on 4-2.
Look at that. How much did you win?
140, 70 to 1 it was.
Yeah, okay. It's not bad. Good odds that. One of them where you got you didn't put more in the end, I suppose.
Yeah, I put a fiver on this mad one, like so many corners, so many throw-ins, nearly every player to get booked, nearly every player to score. Fucking stupid.
Yeah, that's the type of bet I normally do, and then wonder why I never win. Yeah, no, it was again, as I say, like the performances all around were very good. You know, as I mentioned, Gakpo up front as well. Where we've spoke about it a number of times. We don't feel like we get the best out of him when he's through the middle, but I thought he was excellent. Diaz, I mean, Diaz is a weird one because he always looks busy, but then there's a game where we score 4 goals. You've got 3 players getting a goal and an assist, and on the stats, he didn't contribute in that sense. You know what I mean? It's like he's a mad one, but I do feel like we are better when he plays and when he's confident. He, as I say, he causes a lot of problems, just not always the most clinical.
This is the thing, though. There's players like that, like Thiago was like that. Not in that sense, but if you look at Thiago's goal and assist ratio, it's fucking horrendous. But he was making passes that start attacks that end up in goals, and you don't get credit for none of that. Diaz sort of does what Firmino used to do. He presses from the front, and he makes them make mistakes, and he's just at you constantly. He runs from left to right across all the back line, and eventually we squeezed until we win the ball back, and you've got to give him credit for that. That's what he's doing well at the minute. Again, he's not direct enough. I think that will come. But he's growing in confidence game by game. He's getting on the ball. He's making stuff happen, and he's involved in the passage of play where we do end up scoring goals. He's just not directly involved, so he gets no credit. But I say at the minute, I think when I seen Gakpo through the middle, it was a little bit like, I don't know what's going to happen, but I thought it worked. I thought like he played that way where we were able to get in behind and get players through to the keeper. I think we had 25 shots and about 13 on target. That's down to Gakpo making that space for the forwards and letting us get in behind, and he done it well again. Deserved his goal, deserved his assist. Thought he was spot on, and he's young. He's going to grow and grow. We've just got to play systems that suit these players. They're coming in. He's coming in left wing against the back line that aren't going to leave their area in some games, and it's hard to get past. When you're playing against an attacking team, you'll see the best out of our forwards. We just need to realise that.
Yeah. Well, let's talk about the goals individually because I feel like we don't actually do that enough. So obviously the first one, the cross from Gakpo was just perfect. I mean, Salah was probably had one of his easier days with that Emerson Royale against him because he's just awful. But I mean, I don't know what the keeper was doing either. Like he kind of fell instead of trying to save it. It was just a bit weird, but it was a great header. It was, and as I say, fantastic cross by Gakpo, like absolutely inch perfect.
Yeah, it was, yeah. Can't add nothing to it. It was spot on.
Yeah. And then obviously your second goal is a bit of perseverance, really, wasn't it? I think, again, something we haven't really seen from them in recent weeks is just sticking with it. Like, the ball gets crossed in. Lovely little touch by Robbo, which at the time I was kind of screaming, just fucking shoot. You kind of want to just put his foot through it, but it worked out, obviously. Little cushion, one to Salah, and then he's followed it up with the tap in. Any striker would have been proud of that. But again, as I say, it's just that kind of perseverance that we haven't really shown in recent weeks.
Yeah, and that's it. Like when we're attacking, how often do we say, like, if the keeper parries it, there's no one there. There's not going to be a soul. Like, I've been saying about Salah, You know, Salah's getting loads of shit, but if he's got the ball in an area, he's got to beat 3 men or shoot for anything to happen because there's not a soul near him. And it just looked a lot better against Tottenham. We were charging their box. We were having plays in and around where the ball can drop. And that's part of being a confident team. We just looked like we wanted it so much more. And it's frustrating because we know how much the team want it. We know they're not purposely going through blips and making mistakes and being off the ball, but we've shown how good we can be and how determined we can be. And, you know, for me, I just seen it as a good sign for the future because I think a few of us have writ certain players off that have come in and been good and then dropped off completely. But, you know, I think a freshen up will... I think even that against Tottenham was a bit of a freshen up. It just felt like Liverpool again. They were able to go out and be free. And as you said before, you know, it looked like the pressure had gone off them and they were just allowed to play. And I think going forward, we've got some really good players there in a system that can benefit all of them. That's all we need to do is find a system that benefits all of them. And the thing with a new manager coming in is he might have a plan B, whereas we haven't at the minute. We never have, just been continue with what we do until it goes in the net. And 9 times out of 10 it does. It's worked. It's been unbelievable. But in them games when you are getting frustrated, it'd be nice to be able to go like, nah, let's lump the ball in the box now. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Rather just trying to play the same way. I think we go from the future's fucking bleak to the future's bright, and that's football for you. But you know, I think whoever does come in as manager's got a really good set of players there, as long as they're determined and willing to work as hard as they did against Tottenham.
Yeah. And the thing is, you know, you mentioned about a plan B, and sometimes you do want to just kind of lump it forward when you're under pressure a little bit. And the thing is, you know, with Nunez and Gakpo, you've got 2 players there, 6'3", 6'4", and they are really good in the air. You know what I mean? Like Nunez wins a lot of his headers when he plays, if he's not offside. And Gakpo, you seen it on Sunday. You know, the ball into him while it was, you know, it was on his head. It was perfect to him, but there was no speed on the ball. There was no power on it. He had to generate it all himself, and the header was brilliant. So we've got the players there capable of doing it. We just, you know, sometimes you've got to play to the other strengths.
Yeah, I think, do you know what? It's like we believe, you know, don't look at other teams. Don't look how they play and how they set up and let's try and counter it. We just play one way. And obviously it's worked for years. It's worked. I honestly think the season we won the Champions League and the season we won the league, we're the best team in the world. I mean, anyone laid a glove on us, we were fucking unbelievable. We were relentless. We had players there that could work to a system where no matter what you done, you couldn't stop us. We were that good. I think just now we've had a transitional period where players haven't been replaced properly. Players have come in now. We've got a new midfield. We're struggling with defenders again, where you've got one in for a few weeks, then getting replaced by someone else. And it's just a case of we need to be able to adapt to different systems now. If we're playing someone like fucking Everton who aren't going to leave their box unless it's a counter-attack, then we need to be able to play like a more direct approach where we can get in, so find a gap, find a space, play the set-piece model where, you know, get us a corner, get it in off a fucking free kick, play like them. You wouldn't wish it on my worst enemy to play like Everton, but if it's a result you need at the business end of the season, we need to learn to adapt to beat the teams in those situations. And, you know, I think we have got the players to do it. We just haven't used it as wisely as we could have done this season. But yeah, Gakpo's header, I don't think he had any right to score it. I don't know what the keeper was doing again. He sort of just lied down for it. But yeah, he had no right. The cross was brilliant. Was it Elliott?
Yeah.
Harvey Elliott. The cross was brilliant. But I was shocked when it went in. Like,
yeah, I was.
I was in the lower Kenny. The view was unbelievable, but a bit pissed. So couldn't tell you too much. But that was the opposite end from me. I was by the cop.
Yeah.
No, I weren't. I was by the Annie Road.
Not by the away fans. Yeah.
Yeah. So I was closer to that end, see how Ale does to you. So I was towards Danny Road, and when that ball went in the box, you're like, fucking hell, how's that hit the net?
Yeah.
Fair play. And then it was the same again with Elliott. It's like, fucking hell, seeing him go past the man, he nearly gets hacked down, stays on his feet, and then it's not even like a hit and hope, is it? He stayed on his feet, he bent it round into that top corner, and it's out of this world. I've seen.
I mean, according to him, it was a little bit of an in up because he thought it was missing. So,
it's mad because I've seen his reaction after it. Like, he didn't look like he wants to. He looked like, I thought something had happened where it was not given or something. It's one of them goals you don't celebrate properly because you're just in awe of what just happened. You stood there thinking, what the fuck has just, I just witnessed. And then you see his reaction. He's got his hands on his head at one point. And I think it's Quansah. And they stood like that in the box, and I'm like, oh, it's not given. And then he just got off and started running towards the cop, doing slides and that. And then I've seen it back on a video, and yeah, you can see the player's reaction. Like, it's a phenomenal goal of the season.
Yeah, it was great, like, wasn't it?
I wanted to add in it because you've got McAllister's as well there. You've got a few against Fulham. So there's a few. Yeah.
No, our own, Liverpool's personal goal of the season is going to be a good one this year. McAllister's against Sheffield United just won match of the day's goal of the month, which I didn't think it would, I'll be honest, but made up it did. But yeah, I mean, that goal from I feel like you don't expect it from Elliott. He doesn't feel like he doesn't seem like he's got the power to be able to generate a shot like that. You know what I mean? You feel like he's always got to pass it into the net or like just side footed in or something like that. You know what I mean? You don't really associate him with a thunder bastard, basically.
So I disagree. I've seen videos of him in training and that, and I've seen Pep Linders saying it's the best left foot he's seen. When he was promoting his book, and then he was saying it's the best left foot he's seen. So when I've seen clips of him training, I've seen clips of him in England, and stuff he's done for us. He scored a few belter goals for us. Not necessarily thunder bastards, as you might call them, but that side foot. I don't know. Don't get me wrong. I don't know how he's generated that power on that because it flies in. He just side foots it and it just flies. But the precision of them like is quality. Like, I love it when it happens, and if we can get him in them areas, that's a Mo Salah type of goal, innit? Get him at the edge of the box where he can cut in, beat a man, and get a shot off, and that's what we need. We need a bit of backup for that, and I think he's stamping his name down, saying he wants to be there. So it's going to be an interesting summer to see what happens, because there's talk of people saying Salah might be leaving. There's people saying Salah might be staying. I think if we can use Harvey Elliott as a right forward as opposed to a midfielder, and get a midfielder in with his work rate and his precision in his passing and his fucking gung-ho style where he just wants to get the ball and go forward, I think you're onto something dynamite.
Yeah, I don't know. I think I would actually prefer him staying in midfield. I think that right side of midfield, I think he operates very well there. I think he's kind of took over that Henderson role that used to be there. Henderson used to get a load of shit for not contributing enough in the game, and we always said he's making up for Trent on that right side of midfield all the time. He's having to cover him a lot of the time, and I think Elliott does it very well. I think his link-up play with Salah is fantastic. I think he links up with Trent very well as well, but I think the way he picks that ball up in the middle and on being able to bring it in on his left foot, I just think he works best there, surprisingly, which, it's been known. It's not his favourite position. It's not where he would like to play, ideally, but I think that is actually where he operates the best.
But I like the way they rotated a bit. Like, obviously, he's gone to where Mo Salah should have been to set up Gakpo's goal. He's gone to that area, and then he's there again to create his own goal. So, but I enjoyed the way, like, there were spells of the game where Diaz would go through the middle and Gakpo would go out left, and then they'd switch it where Salah would be in the middle and Diaz would end up on the right. And the rotate, what we used to do when it was Mane, Firmino and Salah, they would rotate into areas where whoever was closest to there, wherever the ball is, just fucking stay there for that passage of play and cause carnage. And the rotation from them, I enjoyed watching. So when that's all going on, and you've got your midfielders pushing up into wide positions and causing danger, that's how you can get 3 players in the box, because you've got your midfielders getting higher up the pitch, contributing, and that's something we're lacking. And good to see. Good to see players moving around the pitch and not being. We sort of play zonal. You can see exactly where every player is going to stay. Endo won't leave the centre circle. McAllister a bit to the left or the right, and then you've got Elliott, who's the same. They were just all over the pitch. It was great, and that's what I mean. It was like they were free. Just go on, go and play footy and enjoy it, and get the 3 points, and we did.
That's it. One man who's been, a lot of people talking about him again. We've spoken about him a lot, but it's very different this time around. I think, Darwin Nunez come on, and he's missed a good chance. Hasn't mattered because we were obviously still 40 up at the time, but since then people have made a big deal out of him being the first one down the tunnel, even though there's 2 players right behind him, like immediately after him. He's deleted, I think, I don't know if it is every Liverpool related picture now. There might be 1 or 2 still on there, but he's deleted all his Instagram pictures of Liverpool. He's been pictured with Araujo from Barcelona. And obviously there's been, I don't know if you can call them death threats necessarily, but there's been, people on Twitter telling him that to go and kill himself and things like that. And I don't know, I've seen rumours that like his family had messages sent to them and things like that. So first and foremost, preface it all by saying, if you are sending anything like that to any fucking player, not even just a Liverpool player, any fucking footballer, then you're out and out gobshite, and just give the footy up. Don't watch it. You don't deserve to watch football. You don't deserve anything. Just fuck off. You're just an absolute fucking plant pot, and you're a tit, and football would be better without you. But outside, obviously, outside of that, the deleting the pictures and all that, the going down the tunnel first, which I don't think anything of. I didn't think anything of that, but deleting all the Instagram pictures of, do you think that's anything, or do you think it's just, again, something probably made to be a bigger issue than it is?
First and foremost, back you up there. Like, if you are sending messages and family members and that, owners, referees, or anything, personally, if you're going to send them something you wouldn't say to the face, you're a fucking shitbag. They're all black accounts, lad. When you look at them, you see it with the racist comments and that.
Oh, no.
That Ian Wright's received, and you see like Vinicius Jr. They're all faceless accounts of little shitbag trolls. I don't think any of them are Liverpool fans. We've discussed on here time and time again how frustrating it is that when he does something wrong, the fans chant his name. So he knows that the proper Reds are behind him and that he's being backed. So I think from a fucking 2024 point of view, I think footy players, if they are going to react like that, should just swerve having social media, because unfortunately that's where we're at. Anyone can get an account and troll anyone. So that could be United fans, City fans, Arsenal fans, people who don't like footy, just jumping on the bandwagon to feel a bit fucking like they're engaging with something because they don't speak to fucking anyone because they're sad acts. But deleting all his Liverpool stuff, I think he's probably caught himself in a trap where he's had a look at his posts and every post had a bit of shit on it, so he's just deleted a lot. I don't think there's anything in it. I don't think there is at all. He's been back to the hilt by Liverpool. You can see as games are going on now, he is getting less and less playing time. I think part of him going down the tunnel early was more to do with that than it was the fans' reaction to his miss. But again, he's just not good enough at the minute. So you don't want to be seeing him abused and that, but he's going to take criticism because he's just not good enough. He was on the pitch 14 seconds before he was offside. I can't remember another offside from our point of view. He goes 1-on-1 with the goalie. I tried to cash out my bet and it's suspended. because Josh was telling me we're a couple of seconds ahead of them, so it's hard to cash out. It said no, and then he missed, and I won anyway. But like the chances that you're expecting to go in, lad, you're really expecting to go in, and he's missing them. So from a footballing point of view, I don't know where we go with him. I just don't know. I've personally, I'm bored of seeing him on the pitch. I don't think his positives outweigh his negatives at the minute. I think he's costing us too many opportunities. I think I've said it through the season where I think if you count games where we've dropped points, where we could have went ahead in the game or got an equaliser, it's been in. So I'm not blaming him for us not winning the league, but there has, even when we've been playing shite, he's had opportunities to put us ahead or put us even, and he's missed. So there is a lot of pressure on him now to come good. I think the reaction by the fans against Tottenham when he missed was one of disbelief and a little bit of like, fucking hell, here we go again. And I think you heard for the first time, you heard sighs, you heard the grunts of people who were a bit pissed off, and it did ring around the ground. But you know, it happens, fucking happens in games. It's a passionate game of sport. You've missed another sitter, and for the first time, you know, you've heard it. But he gets back to the hilt by the proper fans. His name gets sung all around the stadium, and what will be with him. I don't know whether it means anything. He's been seen with the Barca player or anything. I would be baffled if Barcelona wants them. I really would, because I just don't think he fits any system.
I mean, if you believe the rumours, then he's apparently the number one choice to replace Lewandowski.
Give us our money back.
And I actually think he would do well in La Liga. I think he'd smash it, to be honest. Now that he's obviously improved since he was last in Spain. Bit more similar to play like the Benfica style of play and things like that. I think he would actually smash it there. I think I would counter a little bit what you said. You know, yeah, there's been games where we maybe should have won, and he's missed chances. At the same time, he scored more winners for us than anyone else this season. I think he's 7th on the list of goals and assists in the league this season overall. Like, only Salah for us has got more goals and assists than him this season. I think we've all seen the signs. There's signs there of a fantastic player. The 2 goals against Newcastle, where he's won the ball against Sheffield United away and passed it to Szoboszlai, the winner at Forest. There's signs there, and once there's something in his head, and I don't know what it is, and once he figures that out, and once that clicks, once whatever it is just clicks in his head, lad, he can be ridiculous. But it's whether that will ever click.
You know, we're looking at 2 years now. You know what I mean? It's not like he come in January and he was trying to find his feet. It's been nearly 2 years, and it's the same conversations with him. When's it going to click? When is it going to click? I think if you brought in someone like a Robbie Fowler or an Ian Rush to just work with him and show him what he should be doing in the box, where he needs to be, when to take a yard, when to be on the shoulders of the last man, all these things that he doesn't know the basics of in his head, that's costing him, because he could be ridiculous. If he could learn a little bit of Haaland's game and know where to be and when to be there, he could be fucking unbelievable. He does all the hard work. He deserves the credit for that. But the simple stuff that he can't do as a striker, I just don't know whether he is a striker. I don't know whether he used to be a centre-half or something. I said to you before, if the ball drops in the box, I don't want him anywhere near it. Got no confidence in him scoring goals. And to be fair, his numbers aren't bad. His numbers aren't bad at all. But when you link that to how many he's missing, and you could put that down to, you know, if you're getting that many chances, you're going to miss a load more. You can't score every fucking chance. But then look at Haaland, lad. In some games, he's had 6 shots and scored 4 or 5. It's just fucking ridiculous. You know, there's no clinicalness there. He could have 10 shots in a game and he might score 1. But it's costing us. So, personally, you know, I love what he brings. I love the determination he's got. I love how passionate he is. He looks a great fit for the club in sense of, like, it's like he gets that connection with the fans. He thrives off it. He loves it. He's got the work rate like a Dirk Kuyt. He's got the madness of a Suarez. But as I've said before, he just hasn't got the ability of any of them yet. And hopefully that comes. But I don't know. You know, the new manager might be thinking, if we just narrow it down to just this, we'll get that out of him. It just depends what happens in the summer. If he went, I wouldn't be asked one bit. I literally wouldn't be asked. But if we stayed and we kept him, and he went on to score 30 goals a season, I'd fucking hold my hands up and say, you know what? We could have lost him. Could have been catastrophic for us. He's gone on to do this, do that. And we were all wrong. But I just don't see it getting to that point with him. I just think what he's got is mental. I think there's a mental block in part of his game that he just can't adjust to. And, you know, if he can't, then it is what it is. If he can, and we can get the best out of him, and he can add to his numbers, then great. But he just frustrates me.
Frustrates everyone, I'd imagine, and it's because we want him to do well that he frustrates you. But as I say, you know, I don't know how many points he's earned us at least. I think he scored five winners this season in the league alone. So I mean, he's earned us at least 15 points on his own this season. I don't know where that ranks in terms of the rest of the squad, but we've both said it. We look like a better team when he's playing and when he's confident. And I think that's another thing at the minute. He's lacking severe confidence, and obviously, if he is going through like his Instagram posts and you know, we both said it in the past. You know, if you're going through social media and you see 50 comments that are all boss and one that's saying, "Hey, this design," like with your t-shirt, if you see one comment that goes, "This design shit," you fixate on that one that says it's shit.
Never had that happen.
I know you haven't, obviously. No, but you know what I mean. It's like,
I have. That's what you get. People must just search keywords, and as soon as there's a bit of positivity about, there's always one rat who pops up with a bit of shit. But I think as a professional player, like as a spark, if people were going to me, oh, them spotlights look a bit shit, I've already been paid for them. That get over it. It's fucking done. The job's done. I know the job was perfect. I measured it all out. I couldn't give a fuck what you say. You know, as long as the customer's happy and I'm happy and the pictures look boss, couldn't give a fuck. But as a professional footballer, you don't expect that in my line of business. Do you know what I mean? You do expect it as a footballer. You're going to get shit from opposition fans. You're going to get shit from your own fans. And as I say, if you're going to say something to them that you wouldn't say in the pub, like this, what we do is like being in the pub. So I will criticise him. If he walked in here now, I'd shake his hand and I'd go to him, listen, lad, keep your head up. Keep going. We know there's something in there. Fucking come on. And that's what it should be like on social media. We can have these conversations like, lad, he's doing me head in. I fucking can't do it. And then you go to the game and you get behind him. That's what it should be like. Unfortunately, social media, people are just cunts. And they just say
people can't differentiate between criticism and abuse. And that's the thing, you know. Like I'm very much of the, you know, I've always been of the opinion that like if a player's play bad, I don't care who it is, how good they've been for us. If they play bad, then you know, say it. And one thing I don't like is, you know, you get these people online who are like, "Oh, but they've been brilliant for us," and you can't say that about them. You can't, and he's this, that, and the other. And it's like, you know, just overly positive all the time and not willing to say a bad word about them, about the performance or anything like that. That winds me up. But there's a line there, and as I say, there's these nameless, faceless accounts don't know where that line is, and that's why they turn to abuse. They can't just say that performance wasn't good enough. They've got to go in and say, what I seen one, who I don't, again, one of these stupid accounts, but someone said, leaving the club isn't good enough. He needs to die. Like that's not on. You can say, you know, you can go as far as saying, I want the club to sell him. That's fine if that's what you think. That's not a fucking, you know, that's not a wildly out of fucking thing, you know, out of whatever to say. That's not a bad thing to say if that's what you feel. But like, as I say,
But
social media.
That's what my point is. If we're in a forum where we're all having a discussion about a player where he can't see it, then go for it. Say what you want. Not to the point want him to die. But yeah, I think we should get rid of him. Or I think he deserves another year for the 15 points he's gained us this season. If that's your opinion, go for it. Don't go on his thing where he can see it and you're going to drop his head, because then you're an absolute shithouse prick. And that's my point. Say what you want. Have our conversation. He's not going to listen to this. He's not going to see it. He's not going to be tagged in it.
Might too. I had Darwin.
But he's not. Do you know what I mean? It's like, this is a conversation between two lads, and there's going to be people listening, people engaging. Hopefully, people tell me, you know, fucking hell, I think you're out of order saying you wouldn't be asked if you'd go and whatever. I'm not asked. You know, that's what it's all about. It's about opinions. But as long as it doesn't get back to the player and we can get behind him when he's playing and we can support him and get the best out of him, then that's what we do. If he goes, he goes. If he stays, we support him, we back him, and we try and get the best out of him. But people just can't do it. But as I say, when you say there's a fine line and people don't know where it is, they do know where it is. But they want to cross it because it gets them interactions, and it gets them likes off other pricks. And there's loads of them. There's absolutely loads of them pottering about who have got no purpose in life. They just let it go. It's fucking pathetic.
Like even the other day, someone I like shared that video where he scored the flick against Madrid, and someone commented on it like, you're delusional if you think you're ignoring all the bad and you're delusional and this, that, and the other. It's like, first of all, I'm not ignoring it. And secondly, like, if it's delusional to not wish death upon the players who play for us and want the players that we've got to do well, then yeah, I'm delusional. Like, but to me, that's just normal. Like, as long as he's playing for Liverpool, then he's going to frustrate us, but we want him to do well.
No, but do you know what I mean? It's like if you post a video of the Jordan Henderson goal against Chelsea, you'll get the same. He was shite. And you're like, but he still scored that goal. It was still a worldie. If you think he weren't good enough for the club, then that's fine. But he was still scoring goals like that every now and again. You know, he's still winning us points on his own. Still lifted every trophy. Still led us to conquer the world. So you can say he weren't a great footballer, but he still did all that. You know what I mean? You can't say
another one went, we lost this game 5-2, by the way, and it went irrelevant to the point I was making about Nunez. Like, it's absolutely not relevant. Just, there's people who've just got to search the negative in everything. And it's like, I was just trying to fucking say, let's hope the lad gets his confidence back.
Wasn't that the goal that put us ahead, though?
That was the goal that put us 2-0 up, yeah.
Yeah, so obviously at the time when he scored
just,
it wasn't like
I say, I know, yeah.
Goal. And that's the thing, lad. People will just see the bad at everything, and that's what they're there for. That's what their purpose is, to just get in. If you could spend all night arguing with one of them, and they'd never back down. You could go as far as arguing all day. You could find out, and then if you find one personal thing about them, like some accounts do, where they go into background checks and they find out who they are and where they were, then they apologise and they fall apart.
Yeah.
This hidden thing where they can say what they want behind a hidden account, it's free for all, isn't it? But once you find out who they are, they disappear. They set up again as anonymous. So, you know, I think as a professional footballer, Nunez should, you know, personally, fucking hell, come out and say, yeah, I took a lot of abuse there, but doesn't reflect how I feel about the clubs or the proper fans who are singing my name. It's twats on Twitter or Instagram, trolls, whatever you want to call them. But yeah, he's deleting his posts. I think it's been more a case of fucking hell. Comment on that one. Delete them, get rid of them.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if it is very, very much like that, lad. You know, just gotta wait and see. Hopefully, as I say, as long as he's here, we want him to do well. So, you know, hopefully Monday, Villa, you know, we fucking bags at Attra and everyone forgets and everyone can go back to being made up with him, you know what I mean? But look, don't get me wrong, I'm not
20 shots.
Hey, if we go to Villa and have 20 shots, lad, I'm happy with that performance, I'll be honest with you.
Lad, we're capable. We are capable. Like, what I liked about the Tottenham game as well is we just let them have possession. I think they had more possession than us over the course of the game.
Yeah, they did.
And that's what, like, we fell into a bit of a trap, but like Arsenal under the later stages of Wenger were like, where we'd have all the ball, we'd have possession for like 70%, but we'd just pass it round the back and round the midfield and then back to the goalie, and you're never creating nothing. But fucking hell, Arsenal had 88% possession, yeah, but he didn't have a shot. Oh, you can't win a game if you don't shoot. That's we fell into that trap a little bit the last few weeks, where
I was just going to say that.
We had the confidence of someone to just grab the game and go for it, make something happen. And that's where we question the leadership and all that. But, you know, I don't know how, but we've turned this podcast a bit negative. So we just back Tottenham. I've got a bit of belief in these players again. You know, there were players who you're thinking, are they done? Van Dijk looks superb. Quansah looks superb. When Harvey Elliott looks superb. Gakpo looked like he was thriving. So, yeah, let's turn it back into a positive and, you know, just let's see where we go with these lads. We reached our target this year. We finished top 4. We won a cup. It's not the way, never ended the way we wanted it to. Burnt out a little bit too early. But if you'd have offered us this at the very beginning of the season, with some of the rides we've been on, some of the games we've been involved in, and the games we've won last minute and all that, it weren't for nothing. It was to make boss memories with a boss manager and reach our target, which was top 4. So, you know, now it is over and the pressure's off, and unless something absolutely ludicrous happens.
Don't do it. The Premier League the other day, didn't he put it's still mathematically a 3-horse race, and it's like I just said, listen, Premier League, appreciate the sentiment, but we don't need this negativity. Just leave us alone. Let us just ride off into the sunset and just let it be over for us. Don't give us any hope. Like, I hope they both fucking lose at the weekend and it is really a 3-horse race again. And I'm just having a look. But yeah, no, Villa, you know, they're sort of they're in a weird place at the minute. Obviously, I think if they win at the weekend, they do secure top 4. But they've just left 4 in against Olympiacos at home. They've got the second leg of that coming up tomorrow. They lost to Brighton in the very last minute, which would have absolutely floored them. That's a morale killer. Like, there's nothing worse than a last minute winner against you. So yeah, they're still beatable. They are. I think we showed earlier in the season we probably one of the most convincing defeats they've had this season. So we know it can be done, and as you said, we are very capable of going there and having 20-25 shots. We've just got to keep that same mentality we had for the Tottenham game. Like, it was as if they were treating it like, you know, like it was a cup final, even though there's more or less nothing to play for now. And we need to keep that mentality going into the game on Monday.
Yeah, definitely, lad. I say they're going to come at us. They're going to attack. They need the points. But we want the points. Liverpool want the points. That's Jurgen Klopp's last ever away game for Liverpool Football Club. He's going to rally them players to go and perform like they haven't played before. Do you know what I mean? They're going to try and go out with a bang for them, where they can go and say to that. Some of the away fans don't go the home game. So, you know, that's their last hurrah. The atmosphere will be exceptional. I think the team will thrive off it. And we've just got to just see how we go. You know, Villa will come at us. That suits us. Absolutely suits us. We'll find the spaces in behind and get behind them like they probably will before. Well, against us. But, you know, if you're going to do a bet, you're going to do both teams to score and like over fucking 30 shots or something, because it's going to be one of them games. And, you know, I'm literally, as mad as it sounds, lad, now the pressure's lifted and we're sort of not in the title race. I'm not asked about the results or the footy. I just want the players to give everything. And I just want Jurgen Klopp to bow out with pride. And regardless of how the season ends and the last 2 games, regardless, we get beat 5-0 in both games, he still bows out with pride. Being the best manager we've had in our lifetime. And some who've witnessed Shankly and Paisley will say in their lifetime as well. So we just got to make sure we do what's right for him to go out with his head held high, and that'll be by winning the 2 games. So I don't think there's nothing to worry about. I think the players have picked themselves up and the pressure's being lifted, and now the only pressure they've got is sending him off with wins, and I think they're more than capable of doing that.
Yeah, absolutely. I was just looking at the date there, 11 days.
Don't
Like,
laugh.
it's horrible.
The videos going round and Expedia and all that with Kelly Cates, and it's just fucking. I'm just waiting. I'm still waiting.
I've shared them. I've watched a minute of them. I can't watch them all. It's no.
I shared that one this morning so I could watch it tonight.
You still can't do it.
No, I watched it earlier, lad, and I seen someone put, I know some years will cry, but I'm in the mindset of like, I'm just enjoying that we've had him. And it's mad. It's like, don't cry because they're gone. Smile because they were there. Do you know what I mean? That sort of thing.
No, that's too positive right now.
It's hard. Like,
maybe after it's happened.
Something triggers in his head to think I'm not fucking leaving. Just don't. It's like a mad fucking crazy turnaround, and I've said it all along. Like, you know, Arne Slot looks like a positive appointment. He looks like I was watching little bits from him on Sky Sports with my dad the other day, and my dad's smile was back, and he was like, he's a working class fella, you know, he gets his team playing hard, he interacts with the fans and all that. It's everything you want from a manager. It is, when it's not Jurgen Klopp who's making way for you. But yeah, quite happily, as much as I am a bit positive about Slot, if Klopp was to just fuck his whole life up now and say, actually, I'm having that job, then I'd be made up.
I'm not fucking leaving.
Oh yeah, I'd be made
Do
up.
a Jordan Belfort. No, I mean, obviously we'd all love that, but I think even if there was a thought of changing his mind in his head, lad, I think the fact that there's been all these, like, there was events planned for his leaving and everything, lad, which I've seen Aintree were doing one and it's been cancelled. But like, obviously the video that Expedia have done in partnership with Liverpool and stuff like that, like, after all of that being done for him, he can't just turn around and go, you know what, I've changed my mind now.
You can, Jürgen, you can.
There's too much happening now, lad. I don't think it works like that anymore.
No, do you know what? When people are saying that his announcement derailed us and that, and we've discussed it, that we actually got better. We got better. He's needed the time to come to terms with it as well. I think if he's known in his head but hasn't told anyone, bar than his wife or, you know, his backroom staff, and don't say the players knew, but it wasn't out there and he wasn't getting the response of the fans, and I think he'd have been heartbroken on the last day when it come out, you know, actually I'm leaving. He'd have had to address us and tell us. The fact that he's been able to get his head around it a little bit, that May the 19th will be his last time at Anfield as manager, and it's given us the time to do all this with the videos and appreciate him and all that, then it's nice that we've had that opportunity. When Bill Shankly left, he just left. Just, you know, Bill Shankly's gone. People were like, what are you on about? You're fucking joking, aren't you?
Yeah.
You're having me on. That's what I mean. If that happened to us, I don't think I'd have got over it. I honestly
you know what, I think as well, you know, people have said he should have just announced it like after the last game or something like that. And I think, for me, I think if he'd have done that, I would have thought there was like something really wrong with him if he'd have just announced it out of the blue after the, like, say we just beat Wolves and then he walks onto the pitch with a microphone. It's like, right, so this was my last game, I'm fucking off. Like, I would have thought, shit, what's wrong with him? Like, the fact that he's done the whole announcement, explained his reasoning for it, said I'm fine. And again, I said it at the time, he said I'm fine now, which again leads me to believe he had a bit of a scare or something and he's just thought life's too short, kind of thing. But I don't think we'll know that until he's officially retired and releases his fucking book or whatever he does. Because, you know, there'll be publishers lining up left, right and centre for that. But yeah, I think it would have been worse for him. I think it would have been worse for us as fans. I think it just would have been, there would have been far too much speculation as to the reason why he's leaving if he'd just announced it out of the blue, like after the last game of the season or something like that.
Yeah, it'd have been crazy, and as I say, I don't think we'd have got over as a fan base. When I held that Jürgen is forever banner up in the car, you had people like turning around and looking, and you had like people who've been there before and witnessed Bill Shankly going. Now I know the Shankly lives forever flag was held up when he passed away, so it was a different situation. But to us, when Jürgen announced he was going, that's what it felt like. It felt like someone had died, and that was just the first reaction my thought of was, how can we show him how big a deal he is? And it was to compare him to Bill Shankly. And yeah, I've seen people like turning around and tears in their eyes and getting pats on the back and all that. And then I'm seeing a fan who's very well known, you know, and we were just discussing, what is this meant to feel like? Someone died. And he was like, I've lost my brother, lad, and this feels like that. He said, I've lost my mum, my sister, and it feels like that. And you feel terrible saying stuff like that, but you can't, unless you've been through it, you can't explain that feeling in your heart. That day I was on here with you when he announced it, lad. I could just about hold myself together because it was gut-wrenching. Felt like someone had fucking stabbed me in the heart. Imagine him doing that on the last day of the season. Fucking hell.
Would have been riots.
Lad, honestly, I'd have chased him down the tunnel and told him he's not going anywhere. I'd have burst into flames and burst out crying. But yeah, I think he's known. I think he's done it for us. You know, I think the players were big enough, men enough to realise that he's going and crack on. But not us. We fucking idolise him more than anyone I think that we've ever had. Be honest.
In our lifetime, yeah.
He literally walks on water. He's got freedom of the city because he walks on water. And, you know, I love something he said the other day about if he comes back to Anfield and the manager doesn't want him, he's not bothered. Coming anyway, sort of thing. Which, you know, that's what the type of man he is. I think he's going to go and watch the Champions League final as a neutral, which is crazy, isn't it?
Yeah.
He's going to be going there and supporting Dortmund because he's not been able to do it. It's either been us or he had to go straight on holiday. So, you know, we can go and support football and we can go and watch football. Not on TNT, but he can watch that elsewhere.
Yeah.
But yeah, do you know what, lad? As I say, as the time's given us a bit of time to get used to it, and I think the way we've done it all, the way we've sort of subtly, but not so subtly, announced who the new manager is, and we've got to figure out what type of character he is, and that it's not going to be someone who's going to fucking drag us to the floor and make all these mad changes and try and put a big massive stamp on a different style of play and all that. I think the fact that that's out the window, and again, that from me is like contradictory because I wanted anyone who was the complete opposite of Jurgen Klopp because I couldn't cope with someone coming in trying to be him. But Slot doesn't try and be him. Slot's just Slot, and Klopp's just. And it'll be different. It won't ever be the same, but it'll be positive. There'll be a smiley face, a passionate manager on the sidelines. That's what this club needs. And say when he goes, it's going to be fucking hard. We've got a summer to try and get over it, and then the footy starts again, and we've got to just get back in that fucking ground and get behind whoever's in the dugout.
That's it. I
feel sick.
That's the most positive you've been about the whole situation since it happened. So, yeah, look, we'll wrap it up there. Obviously, as I say, we got the big game on Monday. Villa, as I say, still going for fourth place, still need to confirming. So that it's going to be a tough game. Speaking of Arne Slot, if you know, there's a lot of apprehension about him at the minute. There's people who are underwhelmed with his potential appointment because obviously he's not confirmed yet, as you say. So I spoke to Michael.
He is the winning. Sorry.
Yeah, like, he is like, but
you know
officially it's not.
He got questioned the other day, and he was like, you know, I made a choice a year ago to stay. Maybe this year I've made a different choice. I'm like, just whip your Liverpool.
He must just be on the phone to Liverpool. Like, do us a favour, just announce this so I can actually like properly talk about it. But no, so I spoke to Michael Statham from Dutch Football. It's an English-speaking Dutch football website. So yeah, we were speaking about Arne Slot, speaking about his appointment, what it's been like what the reaction's been like in Dutch football from Feyenoord fans and things like that. So hopefully, you know, if you go onto our YouTube, give that a watch, might alleviate some of the concerns and that feeling of underwhelming that you might have about his appointment. Because I come out of it like proper positive about him coming, and I'm not going to say I'm ready for it because I'm not, and I don't think I'll ever be ready for Jurgen Klopp leaving. But I was a lot more positive about the whole situation than I was beforehand. So yeah, give it a watch. I say it's on our YouTube now, and it should be quite insightful.
Get to the chopper.
But yeah,
think of when I hear his name. But yeah, you know what, lads? I seen someone comment on it saying, "Oh, he said this about Ten Hag." And what? You know, there's loads of people said good stuff about Ten Hag. Ten Hag hasn't been given a team that this new fella will get. We've got a team there that's just been fucking in a 3-horse race for a league title and really should have done better in the cups. So, different kettle of fish, different manager, different system, different everything, different personality. You know, it is what it is. The only comparison between him and Ten Hag is they're both Dutch.
I'm bald.
Yeah. Oh, is he bald? Is slap bald? I love him.
Yeah, well, no, I mean that again, that's something else I addressed to it, Michael, and obviously, you know, he basically said he's of the opinion that Arne Slot has been the best manager in the Netherlands for the last 3 or 4 years. He's, you know, he rejected Tottenham last summer, and now he's taken the time. You know, any other season, I think we touched on it last time. You know, about how well PSV have done in the league this season and just kind of blown everyone else away. They've kind of done a bit of a Liverpool Feyenoord this season in the fact that most seasons their points tally would have won in the league. It's just they've come up against someone who's just been relentless this season. So it's not a slight on him for not winning the league this season. He obviously won it last season. He won the cup this season. So there's a lot to be positive about. And I'd say if anyone's got any concerns or anything about him, I'd say give that a watch, and I can almost guarantee it will make you feel more positive about him.
So there's no two ways about it. Whoever comes in is underwhelming in a way because we're losing Jurgen Klopp. But you know, we've discussed it over and over again, haven't we? It's just there's no right fit for the club other than Jurgen Klopp. So whoever comes in, we've just got to back. And as I say, I've been contradicting with saying a manager like Jose Mourinho who's going to bring all sorts of mad changes, be aggressive with players who ain't performing. You know, get rid of players who think they start every week. All that shit was just in. I just wanted. I don't know. I didn't want any Jurgen Klopp stamp on us anymore because it would be too upsetting to see it and then not be there. But you know, I think for our generation now, whatever we go on to win in the future will be down to the foundations he laid. And he is a generational Shankly. He really is, like a reincarnation. He come in at a time when we weren't at our best, nowhere near our best. We were struggling, and he built a team up and up and up into a bastion of invincibility. We conquered the bloody world, so he'll have that forever. And whoever comes in now will literally, you know, he'll owe Klopp a great deal because he's inheriting a great side with great foundations that runs from the first team right the way through to the under fucking sixes, where they're all playing the same style of footy, and the academy's better, the stadium's better, and you know he's been a massive part of all of it. So whoever comes in, just got to crack on with the job he's been doing, and I was stupid to think otherwise.
Yeah. So I think we can end this by just remembering that Jay was stupid. Yeah, as I say,
I was more sad.
Well, look, anyway, we'll be back next week. Hopefully to talk about another win and try and mentally prepare for the following Sunday, which is easier said than done. But we're not going to start that yet because we've still got another game in between that, so we don't have to think about that just yet properly. So yeah, we'll be back next week, and until then, up the Reds.
Up the Reds.